Okay, so I'm gonna click that off. Oh, well, I'm so glad to be doing this today because I need to hear what I'm gonna say, and I really appreciate you being here as someone to listen, and maybe what I have to say might be helpful to you as well. I really have been going through since last weekend. In fact, on the day the hurricane hit, Ida hit, um, on that same day, I started experiencing my own hurricane within my mind, in my heart. And if I break down today crying, it's okay, because it's part of my process of this feeling of, as I was telling Neil before we got on, it's to sometimes, well, most of the time, to break through, one needs to break down first. So it's through that breakdown, that sacred breakdown, that we break through blocks and unforgiveness and break through to new reconstruction. When the hurricane hits, nothing, in the midst of it, nothing makes much sense because all you're experiencing is this whirling of things you can't hardly even put into words. That's where I was last Sunday. It didn't hit until it was Brian's birthday, August 29th. He would have been 75. It wasn't the birthday thing that hit me at all. I'm over that. I think of him and think thoughts of gratitude, and I really have started rebirthing myself, and I only have gratitudes and loving memories. But on that day, I didn't realize how long really it's been since I have done much social media or been in touch with old friends. Some old friends, when I moved back here, have shown up in my life. Like I said, I'm playing with a group, musicians, and like we played this past Friday down by the river, and an old friend showed up, and it was strange at first. I knew her, but I couldn't remember her name at all. It's been 50 years, since I saw her last. So after a while, I started getting back into the memory banks. This has happened several times with people that have shown up here. And then I could remember things, but it took a minute. But anyway, back to the social media thing on Sunday. For some reason, I felt I wanted to just wish happy birthday to Brian to my public Facebook page, which, like I said, I haven't really put on anything on there for quite some time, and very little in the past many years. When I did that, and I also put another Facebook post saying blessings to all. Little did I know that all the replies that started coming in were going to trigger something in me. And there was just a flood of one feeling that I was connecting back in, not realizing how much I had pulled back from everyone and everything for quite some time. And old friends that, like say, I had some judgments and reservations about from the past. Some friends who And I'll be real honest here because this is my process and this has nothing to do with judging anyone, but my sadness came up around some of these friends throughout the years that I've totally lost connection with due to I just could not join in some of the rhetoric they put out on Facebook, whether they're Democrat or Republican or anything else. I could not withstand their choice because these are people, some of them I have studied the Course in Miracles with, been to retreats with, etc., saw as my family for many years. And then the shock for me, the surprise in finding out through their posts that they are just as hateful as those that they are judging, that they think are judging them. All of it. Any thoughts of hate or anger or dismissing the opportunity to bless instead of curse, to be the light in the darkness instead of cursing the darkness. I guess, I've had my moments of sadness around that through the years, but all of a sudden it came rushing in from so many, even some who I'm very close to now, who are deep connections in my life. I've reached a point where I'm ready to be honest with them. I'm ready to speak my mind. I'm ready to stand on what my truth is and to express that. And it's okay if they don't hear it, but I've reached a point where I'm going to express to them, as much as I love them, that I want nothing to do with their rhetoric. Whether they mean well by it, they might think they're doing good by it. And I get that. I understand that. But I see that, when you're not coming from a place of love and acceptance and looking beyond the illusion of what you think you're seeing, your perceptions of what you think is right and wrong, if you are not overlooking that and going straight to the truth of who we all are in God, in the oneness that lies beyond all of the insanity of this world, if that's not your goal, above all else, I want the peace of God. That's a lesson in the Course. And many of these people who study the Course and who study truth, who join in the principles of unity, who declare that we are love. It's easy to say it. It's easy to speak it. It's easy to teach it. But when it comes down to it, are you walking the talk? Are you doing it? Are you putting it into practice? Are you questioning your beliefs? Are you questioning, is this true? How can I know this is true about this perception? And what about when I have a belief, a judgment, a condemnation, which is really just fear, is all it is? How many people do I go to join with in that illusion, in that fear, in that belief? Because the more you join with those and bring them in to your circle of, I call darkness, the larger you make that illusion. So I've come to an end. I may still have the temptation to join in that. I don't say there's anything wrong with speaking to someone about your concerns, your fears, or your judgments. But the goal must be to come into agreement that you're going to choose peace instead of this. You're going to take this as a lesson in rising above the battleground that goes on in our minds and hearts and in this world. That I'm going to choose differently. I'm going to be one that brings the light into the darkness, rather than being on the battleground, being the warrior that seems to think they have to fight some kind of fight to win some kind of battle. There is no battle except within my mind. I can easily at any moment remember the truth of me, which is that I am the light of the world. I am the extension of that light. That's the truth of me. So, right now, I'm sure I will speak for myself. I'm not sure of anything. I am feeling more and more the insanity of the world. Seeing it playing out. Seeing the light shining upon what's been hidden in the darkness. And when that starts to happen, it gets scary. Things are changing. There's nothing solid to hold to. I remember being in Florida and this was years ago. I did a music gig there. And then the next day I flew out to Colorado and did a gig up there on one of the highest mountaintops. And when I was looking around, on the mountaintop, to my surprise, I saw remnants of what once was below the sea, the ocean. Fossils. And boy, I just got something in that moment. Like, wow, there is no solid ground here. There is nothing to hold to here. There is nothing but change here. There is nothing but disease, disaster, and destruction here. That love and that beauty comes from within me and then is mirrored back to me when I see it, when I know it, when I accept it as the truth of me. Then I see a different world. Then I see a world of light and love and healing and possibility. So this song I wrote years ago, right after I had that experience of being on the mountaintop. Standing on a hill, looking out around me. Even though I can't feel it, the ground moves neath my feet. The valleys turn to mountains, mountains to valleys. The desert's dry and barren once below the sea. There is no solid ground but the one my heart stands on. There is no solid ground but the Holy One. I fell in love with a kind and gentle person. I learned to depend on him for my happiness. My life was soon filled with hopes and disappointments when he could not meet what I did expect. There is no solid ground but the one my heart stands on. no solid ground, but the Holy One. There is no way to know what comes with tomorrow. All that really matters is what you feel today. And the only thing to count on is the ground your heart stands on. Love will hold you up and always keep you safe. There is no solid ground, but the one my heart stands on. There is no solid ground, but the Holy One. So it doesn't really matter what goes on in the world. If I remember where my happiness lies, my safety lies, it's not in this world, that's for sure. There is no solid ground here, but in my heart and in my mind, the eternal self that I truly am, the love, the truth, is eternally safe. I am not a body, I'm spirit. This is not my true home. My home is within, heaven is within. How often do I allow myself lay down the world, to lay down my illusions, lay down my fears, if only for an instant. How often do I turn from the world toward the light? How often do I give myself a vacation, a true vacation? Come within. It's the only place where my peace abides, my safety, my identity, my remembrance of where I've been and where I'll always be in the heart of God. One with the universe, one with all. I can't find that here, outside of me, in the news. What do I want to be in this world? What do I want to join in with others? Do I want to be free? Or do I want to stay imprisoned in my fears? So this world is spinning faster. This is a song I wrote years ago after I forget which hurricane hit, and I might have told this story before. When I was recording this song 10 years ago, and I forget which hurricane this was that hit, but it came right up through this town, Owensboro. I was in Owensboro, Kentucky, recording this in a studio when someone came in and said, "Come outside and look." And there was this rotation of the hurricane right above the studio while we were recording this song, "Eye of the Hurricane." The world is spinning faster, roaring louder. How much longer can it all keep up? Bullets flying, people crying, everyone's asking, where is love. God is in the eye of the hurricane. Religions fight in the name of the Christ. Where is love but condemned to die? Hung on a cross of suffering and loss. Love is mocked and crucified. God is in the eye of the hurricane. Panic and confusion, clouds of illusion. I fear I may be losing my mind, out of control, nothing to hold to. What can I believe when it's all a lie? God is in the eye of the hurricane. Still and calm, clear and bright, it's calling to me from inside. God is in the eye of the hurricane. The center of the storm, and the eye at the core, is the single eye from which we're born. Back to God we journey through the dream. The prodigal son at last is home. God is in the eye of the hurricane, guiding me through the thunder and the rain. I hear him calling out my name. Come into the eye of the hurricane. Come back to joy. Come back to peace. Come back to light. Eternity. Back to the eye of the hurricane. Back to the eye of the hurricane. Back to the eye of the hurricane. So let's come in for a moment. Let's feel that hurricane that whirls around us. The insanity of this world. The insanity of our thoughts, our fears, thoughts around the body, thoughts around aging and dying, thoughts around suffering, the suffering in the world, the suffering in our lives, the sadness, the depth of sadness we feel, the depth of aloneness, loneliness, the depth of the separation we feel between us and truth, between us and others. We allow ourselves to feel it totally. How overwhelming it is. Overwhelmed with the pain and suffering that's whirling around us as a hurricane, destroying our peace, bringing devastation to joy, to the thought of oneness, to the thought of love. Shattering our perceptions of what we thought we knew, what we thought was safety, what we thought would bring us happiness and peace and safety in this world. solid ground, but the one my heart stands on. But I feel myself starting to move through these clouds of fear, closer and closer to that eye of the hurricane. I feel myself as I draw closer and closer. I feel lightning, the lightening of my fears, my concerns, my problems. I feel myself lifting above this battleground that goes on in my mind, in this world. I can breathe, beginning to breathe, beginning to feel the weight lifting. And as I enter into the center of the I am, the heart of God, my true home, the light becomes so bright that it shines away all illusions. As the sun comes out, the storm is over, the destruction is over, the confusion, and I'm in celebration of remembrance of where I am, where I have always been, where I will always be. And I give thanks along with all of those that are one with me. Angels, saints, all the beloved ones that have walked this journey with me, my guides. Thank God. Thank God I'm home. Thank God that was only a dream. Thank God this is my reality. There is a place where we all meet, a loving place, the only space where we are one, God's only sunshine. I'll meet you there in the loving place. There are no goals we have to reach. There are no places but these where we are one, God's only son. I'll meet you there in the loving place. Nothing to do, nothing to seek, only to be, only to be in the place where we all meet, a loving space, the only place where we are one, God's only sunshine. meet you there, and we will share truth and grace in the loving place. So I choose to be one that becomes the instrument, the clear channel for this truth to come through and extend to the world. Never will we meet and join in body in a world of separation. But we have never parted in truth. And that's the truth. Amen. So it is.